You're a busy man. Another article that we're going to talk about that you wrote, 5 Browns whose jobs are in danger after the 2022 NFL Draft. Let's run through them real quick. So Drew Forbes, Curtis Weaver, Jamarcus Bradley, Dearness Johnson, and Demetric Felton, Kareem Hunt. Take us through those and kind of what you're thinking through those.
Well, with Forbes, Weaver, and Bradley, it all kind of goes into the same pod as far as these are fringe players that the Browns have liked to keep around enough for 2 years and try to develop them. But the problem is that this draft is the Browns have raised the floor of the roster, which kind of, takes the old floor out, which was those guys. So I think that's how they fall. I think the most impactful part is the drafting of Jerome Ford and the ripples that it's going to cause in the running back room. And that brings us to Demetric Felton. They already went and got Jakeem Grant, so you got your return specialist. And that's kind of where Felton was slotted to kind of make a difference as he came along. And then he's also a receiver and a running back. Well, last week they said, nope, we're scrapping that. He's only going to be a running back. To me, that just crushes that young man's value. And I think it's going to be a very uphill battle for him to make this roster. I would almost give it a 0% chance at this point if they're strictly only going to use him at running back. But then again, you look at Dearness Johnson and how much money he's making for a third string back. It becomes a math game at that point, and Jerome Ford would trump him as well. So you could get rid of both those players and substitute with Jerome Ford. Or the conversation that nobody wants to have is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is going into the last year of his deal. He's got tremendous value. He could get you a lot back if they were to trade him. I did feel hopeful that when he wasn't traded during the draft, they kind of told you that he's going to be here longer. But he's only a bad injury away from an NFC starting running back from the Browns getting an offer it's too good to refuse. And for me that'd be very sad because I need to see Kareem Hunt on the field with Deshaun Watson. I think he stands a ton to gain. Deshaun loves to work play side and then hit his check down quickly, as opposed to working backside to give his check down room to run. You do that with Kareem Hunt, he's going to go crazy. And I just think it would be a shame if he were to be off this roster, but it's a business. And then that's a matter of fact. It comes down to what you can bring in return, and Kareem Hunt could bring a lot in return, and he's going into the last year of his deal. So that's where I came down with them.
When I looked at what Andrew Berry did and the way they drafted, and I've said this a couple of times, it just seems to me like they draft like they expect. They're a contender and they expect to be one. There wasn't anything that was done immediate. It's all kind of on that 3 level, okay, we got to develop this guy because we're going to run into this situation a year or two down the line. Did you see that, or am I reading too much into it?
No, that's the Emerson pick summed up to me. Is who had Martin Emerson going to the Browns? Show me some receipts. Who had that? I didn't even study him because I didn't think there was a chance they would get a corner before their 5th or 6th round. But they value certain positional groups and they're looking ahead. Greedy is entering the last year of his deal, so they've already went and drafted his replacement, and he's going to get to come along while those guys are still here. And then of course Troy Hill was exited during that, and it kind of creates an open area for a slot, which I think will probably get occupied by Greg Newsome more than likely. But it's like you said, it's 3-dimensional chess. No one saw that move coming. I didn't. I was flabbergasted. But looking back in hindsight, they're doing exactly what you said. They're preparing for the future while getting better in the moment.